Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is great to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
Today, we are shifting gears a little bit. Usually we take a stack of articles or maybe a new book and we pull out the big ideas, the trends, the why does this matter stuff.
Right, the big picture.
Exactly. But today, our source material is, well, it's very different. It's a document titled Vocab Set 99.
It sounds a bit like a secret code or a robot software update, doesn't it? Vocab Set 99.
It really does.
But actually, looking through this, it's a goldmine. It's a comprehensive guide to 30 specific lines, idioms, and phrasal verbs that are, they're absolutely essential for English fluency.
Exactly. And that brings us to the mission for this deep dive, which is also unique. We aren't just skimming. We're going to act as a comprehensive guide. The goal here is mastery. We want you, the listener, to walk away not just recognizing these words, but really owning them.
That's the key distinction right there. Recognition versus ownership. So we're going to adopt a specific persona today. Think of us as your very patient, very thorough English teachers.
I like that.
We are in a rush. We are going to remain calm, slow, and methodical. Because when you are learning a language, or even just refining it, speed is often the enemy of precision.
I love that approach.
Yeah.
So here's the roadmap. We have 30 items on this list. We're going to go through them one by one.
One by one.
And for every single item, we have a kind of checklist. We're going to cover the simple meaning and usage first. Then we're going to give you 3 distinct example sentences so you can really see the context in 3D.
And we won't stop there. We're going to look at word families and semantic fields. Basically, the neighborhood where these words live. What other concepts are they connected to?
That's so important for memory, isn't it?
It is. We'll also cover synonyms, prepositions if they're important, and those crucial collocations, how real people actually glue these words together in everyday speech.
And finally, we'll look at the opposites, the negatives, because knowing what a word isn't is sometimes just as important as knowing what it is.
It gives you the full picture. The value proposition is simple. By the end of this hour, you will have a nuanced command of these 30 phrases. You'll be ready to use them in a boardroom, a bar, or, just in an email.
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump right in. We are starting with section 1. The theme here seems to be adjustments, reactions, and results. When I looked at this list, I noticed these are mostly phrasal verbs dealing with physical changes, discoveries, or outcomes.
That's a great observation. These are dynamic words. Things are changing state here. There's a lot of action.
Let's look at the first one. It's a classic, but it definitely has layers. Turn something up.
Okay, turn something up. Let's unpack this slowly. There are 2 very distinct meanings here that often, they can confuse learners.
Right.
Meaning, number 1 is the most common one. To increase the intensity or the volume or the heat of a device. It's a mechanical action.
You're turning a dial, pressing a button.
Exactly. But meaning number 2 is more figurative, and it's about discovery. It means to find something unexpectedly, or for something to appear when you weren't necessarily looking for it right at that moment.
That second one is the tricky one. It implies a bit of luck, doesn't it? Or surprise.
It does. It feels a bit passive. Let's look at 3 examples to really nail this down. Example 1, the mechanical usage, which is the easy one. I love this song. Can you turn up the radio?
Simple enough. That's about volume. Now, how about the discovery aspect?
Right. Example 2. I lost my keys 3 days ago, but they finally turned up in the laundry basket.
See, notice the nuance there. The keys did the action. They turned up. It sounds almost magical, like they just appeared.
It does. You don't say, I turned up the keys. You say the keys turned up. It's a very important distinction in the grammar.
And for a third example, let's go back to controls, but maybe temperature.
Perfect. It is freezing in here. Could you please turn up the heat?
Okay. So linguistically, what are we dealing with? What's the semantic field here?
Well, it's split, just like the meaning. On one side, you have the field of controls and machinery. Think dials, buttons, volume, heat.
And the other side?
The other side is discovery and lost and found. It's the world of missing items and unexpected appearances.
And collocations. What words stick to turn up like glue?
You will almost always hear, turn up the volume, turn up the bass, or turn up the heat. That's the common pattern. But interestingly, with the second meaning, you often hear about people.
How so?
Someone can turn up late. He turned up late to the party. That just means he arrived late.
I see. So it can mean appear or arrive. And the opposite, what's the negative?
Well, for the controls, it is very straightforward. Turn down. You turn down the volume, you turn down the heat.
Easy enough.
But for the discovery aspect, the opposite of something turning up is to lose it, or for a person to disappear or hide.
Got it. That's a very clear breakdown. Let's take a breath. Okay, moving to the next one on our list. This one always paints a very vivid picture for me. Throw something up.
Yes, this is a very physical phrase, and we have to be careful with the context here because, again, it has two very different meanings.
And they are quite a contrast.
They are, meaning number one is biological and, let's say, unpleasant. It means to vomit.
Right.
Meaning number two is constructive, to build something, but usually very quickly or hastily.
It's quite the contrast. Sickness and construction. Let's illustrate this. Example 1, the biological meaning. I felt terrible after eating that bad seafood, and I threw up all night.
A very clear, if unpleasant, image. Now contrast that with the second example. The developers threw up a block of flats in just 3 months.
Now, when you hear that, does that sound like a high-quality building to you?
Not at all. Threw up implies they did it without care. It sounds messy, like they just tossed it into existence. There was a sense of speed and maybe a lack of quality.
Exactly. Okay, what about a third example?
Well, there's a third, more gestural meaning. You can say, he threw up his hands in frustration. This is a gesture of giving up, of exasperation.
So the semantic fields are illness on one hand and hasty construction on the other. What about synonyms?
For the sickness, you have the medical term vomit or the much more informal slang puke.
Right.
For the building sense, you could use construct or erect, but those sound much more professional and planned. Throw up really suggests speed and a lack of permanence, almost.
And collocations. Are there common pairings?
You'll hear throw up a barrier, which can be literal, like a quick fence, or it can be metaphorical, like throwing up a legal hurdle to slow something down. And sadly, throw up dinner is a common collocation for the sickness meaning.
Okay, and what about the opposite of this one?
For the food, the opposite is to keep down. As in, I was so sick I couldn't keep my food down.
I see.
And for the building, the clear opposite is to demolish or tear down.
Very clear. Let's pause for a moment there.
Okay.
Next on the list is a phrase that sounds simple, but is actually quite idiomatic. Come off.
Come off. This is fascinating because it deals with attachment and success, two very different areas.
Okay, break that down for us.
So, meaning number one is physical, for an object to become detached from a larger object. Meaning number two is abstract, for a plan or an event to be successful.
I use this all the time without even thinking about that distinction. Let's look at the physical one first. Example 1. I was wearing my favorite shirt, but a button came off.
Right. It wasn't pulled off, it just came off. It implies it happened on its own, perhaps because the thread was weak.
Exactly. Now, the success meaning...
Okay, example 2. We planned a surprise party for weeks, and it came off perfectly.
That means it worked. It happened just as we intended. It was a success.
Precisely. And let's do a third one, maybe regarding a stain. You suggested that before, and it's a good one.
Sure.
Example 3. This grease stain won't come off the carpet. It refuses to detach.
Right. So the word family here seems to revolve around success and detachment.
Exactly. The synonyms tell the same story. For the success meaning, synonyms would be succeed or happen. For the object, it would be detach or fall off.
Are there any prepositions we need to watch out for with this one?
Usually it's come off of something, although in casual speech, we often just drop the of. So you could say the label came off of the bottle or just the label came off the bottle.
The second one sounds a bit more natural.
It does. And the opposite. If a plan doesn't come off, it fails or it falls through. If something doesn't come off physically, it sticks or adheres.
Excellent. That's very thorough. Let's take a beat. Moving on. This next one is extremely high frequency. I think everyone learning English needs to know this one. Get something out of something.
This is a structural powerhouse. I mean, it's so versatile. The meaning is twofold. First, removing an item physically from a space.
Okay, taking something out.
Yes. And second, deriving a benefit or pleasure or some kind of value from an activity.
Let's give the listener some clear examples. Physical usage first. Example 1. I have a splinter in my hand. I need to get it out of my finger.
Very clear. It's about removal. Now for the abstract usage, the one about benefit, example 2, I really got a lot out of that lecture.
That's a great phrase. I mean, I extracted value. It wasn't a waste of my time.
Right, I learned something meaningful. And a third example could mix the two ideas. For example, the detective tried to get the truth out of the suspect.
Ah, so you're extracting information. It's not physical, but it's not exactly benefit either. It's more like extraction.
Exactly, which is why the semantic field here is extraction and benefit. It covers all those uses.
Right. And collocations are very important here, aren't they?
They are. You often hear get out of doing work, which means avoiding it, a negative use. Or you might hear get a kick out of something, which means to really enjoy it.
I get a kick out of watching old movies.
Perfect. And what is the opposite here? Physically, it's to put in. You put the book in the bag.
And abstractly.
Abstractly, if you don't get anything out of something, you find it useless or pointless. Or you could simply say you get nothing out of it.
That makes perfect sense. Let's pause there.
Sure.
Next up, we have a phrase that sounds a bit more formal, perhaps. Make use of something.
It is slightly more formal, yes. It means to utilize something for a purpose, but often to gain a specific advantage. You aren't just using it. You are spotting an opportunity and employing it effectively.
So it implies a bit of intelligence or strategy. It's a conscious choice.
Exactly. Resourcefulness. Example 1. We had a lot of leftovers in the fridge, so we made use of them for a soup.
That's being resourceful, not wasting food. What about example 2?
You should make use of your spare time to study English. Don't just let the time pass by. Use it productively.
And a third one?
The carpenter made use of a special tool to fix the antique cabinet. He chose the right tool for the job to get the best result.
What are some good synonyms for this?
Utilize is a great one, also very formal. Employ works well. In some contexts, you could even say exploit, though exploit can sound negative. Make use of is generally positive or neutral.
I feel like I often hear adjectives in the middle of this phrase. Is that a common collocation?
You're right, it is. We very often say make good use of something or make full use of something. It adds emphasis.
All right, let's make full use of our time here.
Exactly. And the opposite. To waste, to squander, or to ignore an opportunity or a resource.
Okay, taking a breath.
Mm-hmm.
This next item is actually a pair we're looking at. Heat something up and its opposite, cool down.
Thermodynamics, but also human emotions. The meaning is to raise the temperature, which can be literal or figurative, or to lower the temperature, which can also be literal or figurative.
So it works for both objects and situations.
It does. Let's look at the examples. Literal first. Example 1. I'm going to heat up the leftovers in the microwave for lunch.
A very common everyday use. Now, what about the figurative one?
Example 2. The argument started to heat up quickly when money was mentioned. That means the tension rose. The emotions became more intense, more volatile.
And for cool down, let's start with the literal one.
Example 3. After the long run, I walked for 5 minutes to cool down. This applies to the body returning to its resting state.
But you can also cool down a situation, right?
Absolutely. The semantic field covers cooking thermodynamics and emotions conflict. They run in parallel.
And what are the common collocations?
You'll hear, heat up the leftovers, heat up the room. For cool down, you can cool down a situation or cool down a person. You might tell an angry friend, hey, you need to cool down.
And they are naturally opposites of each other, so that's an easy one.
They are the perfect antonym pair.
Okay, let's pause.
Mm-hmm.
Last one for section 1. This one is turn something into something.
This is all about transformation, conversion, changing one thing or state into another thing or state completely.
It feels almost like magic or chemistry.
It does have that feel. Example 1, a classic from biology. The caterpillar turned into a butterfly.
A total transformation. Okay, example 2.
Let's do physics. At 0 degrees Celsius, water turns into ice.
Another fundamental change of state. And a third example, maybe more about how we use space.
That's a very common usage. For example, we turned the spare room into a home office during the pandemic.
Right, repurposing something. The synonyms here seem pretty clear.
Yeah.
Transform, convert, or change.
They are. And the preposition into seems non-negotiable here.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't just say turn something. You have to turn it into the new state.
Yeah.
That preposition is what signals the result of the transformation.
It's the crucial link. And the opposite.
What would that be?
To remain, to stay as, or to keep as. We decided not to renovate. We kept the room as a bedroom. There was no transformation.
That wraps up section 1. We've covered adjustments and results. Let's take a moment before we dive into what looks like the darker side of things in section 2.
Indeed. Things are about to get a bit more dramatic.
Okay, welcome to section 2. The theme shifts here pretty noticeably. We are looking at deception, evasion, and conflict. These are phrases about how people manipulate situations, escape consequences, or, get into fights.
This is where language gets a bit more,
Yeah.
well, interesting. These are very useful for storytelling.
Let's start with a very essential phrase. Item number 8. Get rid of somebody or something.
Get rid of. This means to discard, to remove, or to make someone leave. The key feeling here is that the thing or the person is unwanted. You are relieving yourself of a burden.
It's not just throwing away.
No.
It feels more active. It's like getting free of it.
That's a great way to put it. Example 1, a common one. I decided to get rid of all my old clothes that don't fit anymore.
Right, cleaning out the closet. Now, what about removing a person?
That's where it can sound a bit harsh. Example 2. The party guest was rude and drunk, so we had to ask him to leave. We had to get rid of him.
That sounds a bit harsh, but necessary in that situation. And a third one, maybe regarding health.
Yes, that's a great application. Example 3. I've taken all this medicine, but I can't seem to get rid of this cold.
The semantic field here would be removal and cleaning, or maybe elimination.
Yes. And synonyms would be discard, eliminate, or the more formal dispose of.
And collocations, what do we get rid of?
Well, you often hear get rid of the evidence in crime dramas. That's a classic. Or on a more personal level, get rid of a headache.
And the opposite.
To keep, to acquire, to collect, or to hold on to something.
Clear. Let's pause.
Okay.
Next is a phrase that defines the concept of impunity. Get away with something.
This is a phrase we all learn as children, I think. It means doing something wrong without being caught or punished for it.
You do the crime, but you don't do the time.
That's it, exactly. We've all tried this. Example 1. He cheated on the test and got away with it because the teacher wasn't looking.
Okay, and a more serious one.
Example 2. You can't park your car there. The police are very strict. You won't get away with it.
And a lighter one, going back to the childhood example.
I ate the last cookie from the cookie jar and I got away with it.
The semantic field here is definitely impunity and evasion. What about collocations? I feel like there's a really big one here.
There is. A very strong and figurative collocation is, he gets away with murder.
Which doesn't mean he's actually a murderer.
No, not at all. It means he behaves very badly. He's charming, but maybe rude or lazy, but nobody ever punishes him for it. He seems to be immune to consequences.
That's a great idiom. Another common one is simply get away with a lie. And the opposite.
The opposite is to get caught, to be punished, or another great idiom, to face the music.
Right. To face the consequences. Let's take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
Now we enter the realm of active manipulation. Trick somebody into something or trick somebody into doing something.
Yes, this involves active deception. It means deceiving someone to make them take an action they wouldn't normally take. You're bypassing their better judgment through a lie or a trick.
Example 1, something from the digital world. The scammer tricked her into clicking the malicious link in the email.
A very modern and dangerous example. Example 2, more of a business context. He tricked me into signing a bad contract by hiding the fine print.
Deceptive. And number 3.
A classic spy movie scenario. The spy tricked the guard into revealing the secret code.
The synonyms here are all about deception. Deceive, con, hoodwink, or manipulate.
Exactly. And that preposition into is key again, isn't it? You trick someone into an action.
Yes, you can't leave it out. Trick into doing. And the opposite would be what? To be honest.
To be honest with someone, to warn someone of the danger, or to persuade someone through logic and reason rather than through deceit.
Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Pause there.
Okay.
This next word has a double life, a very interesting one. Hold up something or somebody.
Yes. 2 very distinct meanings here again. Meaning 1 is to delay or obstruct, and meaning 2 is to rob, usually with a weapon.
Let's start with the delay, because I think we experience this one daily. Example 1. I'm sorry I'm late. I was held up in traffic for an hour.
Very common. It means you're stuck, you were delayed. Now for the crime meaning, example 2, masked men with guns held up the bank and stole all the gold.
A completely different scenario. And just for clarity, there's a very literal meaning too, right?
There is. You could say, for example, these pillars hold up the roof. That's the physical support meaning, which is the most basic one.
And the word family includes the noun form, a holdup.
It does, and it also has both meanings. You can say sorry for the holdup, meaning the delay. Or you could read in the news, there was a holdup at the bank, meaning a robbery.
So you need context. What about synonyms?
For the delay sense, detain or simply delay. For the crime sense, rob or mug.
And the opposite.
Regarding time, the opposite is to speed up or expedite. Regarding the physical support, I suppose the opposite would be to let fall.
Right. Let's take a moment. Next is a phrase that feels a bit poetic, or perhaps dramatic. In vain.
It is a bit dramatic and a bit formal. It means without success or uselessly. It implies that a significant effort was made, but the result was zero. It's about futility.
Example 1. I tried to fix the broken glass in vain. The pieces were just too small.
It implies frustration, doesn't it? Example 2. He shouted for help in vain. No one could hear him.
That's quite sad. It paints a picture of hopelessness. And a third one.
All their hard work was in vain when the project was suddenly canceled.
All that effort for nothing. So the semantic field is failure and futility. And collocations. It seems to pair with certain types of verbs.
It does. You almost always use it with verbs of effort. Try in vain. Wait in vain. Search in vain. Argue in vain.
Right. And the opposite.
To do something successfully, effectively, or fruitfully.
Pause.
Okay.
And the last one for section 2. Break in or break into something.
This usually implies illegal entry or burglary, but it can also mean interrupting a conversation or, in a very different context, softening up new equipment like shoes or a baseball glove.
Let's do the crime one first, as it's the most common. Example 1. Burglars broke into the house while the family was on vacation.
Okay, now the shoe usage. This is a very specific but common one. Example 2. My feet hurt so much, I need to break in these new hiking boots before the trip.
So it means wearing them until they become soft and comfortable.
Precisely. And the conversation usage.
How does that work?
Example 3. I'm sorry to break in, but I have a very important question. It's a way of interrupting a discussion.
And of course, the noun form is a break-in.
Yes, the police are investigating a break-in last night. For synonyms, you have burgle for the crime, interrupt for the conversation, or soften for the shoes.
And the opposite.
To withdraw from a conversation, to stay out of a place, or for a building, the opposite action would be to seal it or secure it.
That brings us to the end of section 2. We've dealt with tricks, holdups, and break-ins. It feels like a crime movie.
It does. And now, in section 3, we face the music. The theme is crime, punishment, and fugitives.
It's a very logical progression. We go from the act to the consequence. So let's start with the moment of capture. Catch somebody red-handed.
I love the imagery of this one. It means discovering someone in the very middle of committing a crime or a bad act. The red in the phrase originally referred to blood, like catching a murderer with blood on his hands, but now it's used for any kind of evidence.
So it means you catch them in the act with undeniable proof.
Exactly. Example 1, a simple one. The little boy was caught red-handed with his hand in the cookie jar.
The classic example. What about a more serious one?
The thief was caught red-handed taking the money from the safe.
And one from a school setting.
She was caught red-handed cheating on the test with the notes right on her desk.
The semantic field is clearly crime and evidence. A simple synonym is just to catch in the act.
That's the best one. And the opposite.
Well, this takes us back to something we discussed earlier.
It does. The opposite is to get away with it, referencing back to item 9. Or you could say to be undetected.
A perfect link. Let's pause there. Once the police are involved, they have to find you. So they might be on the lookout for somebody or something.
This means to watch carefully, to be vigilant, to actively scan your environment for something or someone specific.
Example 1, the police context. The police are on the lookout for a suspect described as a tall man in a blue coat.
Now a more casual, everyday example. I'm heading to the sales tomorrow. I'll be on the lookout for a bargain.
Right. And a third one.
You should be on the lookout for the bus. It should be arriving any minute now.
So synonyms would be watch out for, keep an eye out for, or scan for.
All excellent synonyms. Keep an eye out is probably the most common in casual speech.
And collocations.
You're often on the lookout for trouble, or security might be on the lookout for suspicious activity.
And the opposite of being on the lookout.
To ignore, to overlook, or to miss something because you weren't paying attention.
Taking a breath.
Okay.
If you aren't careful and the police find you, you end up here. Get into trouble with somebody.
This is about facing difficulties or punishment because of your actions. It's a very broad phrase used for everyone, from small children to hardened criminals.
Right. Example 1, for a child. If you yell at the teacher, you will get into trouble.
Now for an adult. Example 2. He got into trouble with the police for speeding.
And it can also be interpersonal, right? Not just with authorities.
Absolutely. Example 3. I forgot our anniversary, and I got into trouble with my wife.
The semantic field is consequences. And the preposition is usually with the authority figure. In trouble with the boss, in trouble with the law.
That's the pattern. And the opposite.
To stay out of trouble, to behave, or another good idiom, to keep your nose clean.
Perfect.
Pause there. Sometimes crime isn't just about one person, it's a trend. And for that we have on the rise or on the increase.
Yes, this describes trends. Something is growing in number, in frequency, or in intensity. It has a slightly formal, almost journalistic feel to it.
I can imagine hearing it on the news. Example 1. Fuel prices are on the rise again this month.
Example 2 from our crime theme. Petty crime is on the increase in this neighborhood, according to police reports.
And it can be positive too, right?
It can. Example 3. Her popularity is on the rise after her latest hit movie.
Synonyms would be things like increasing, escalating, growing, or for a very sharp increase, soaring.
Yes. And the opposite is just as straightforward.
On the decline, decreasing, or dropping.
Exactly.
Let's take a moment. Sometimes, if you get into trouble, you get lucky, and the judge might let somebody off.
This is all about leniency. It means to not punish someone, or to punish them much more lightly than they deserve. But there is another meaning. It can also mean to allow someone to physically get out of a vehicle, to disembark.
Okay, let's do the leniency one first. Example 1. The police stopped him for speeding, but let him off with just a warning.
Lucky guy. Example 2 from school. The teacher let the student off the hook this time, even though her homework was late.
Let off the hook is another great idiom that means the same thing. And the vehicle usage.
Example 3. Could you tell the bus driver to let me off at the next stop, please?
So synonyms for the leniency meaning would be excuse, forgive, release, or even pardon.
Right, and the big collocation is the one from our example. Let off with a warning. You hear that all the time.
And the opposite.
To punish, to convict, or to use a strong idiom, to throw the book at someone.
Meaning to give them the maximum possible punishment.
Precisely.
Pause. But sometimes things get violent. The next phrase is beat somebody up.
A very direct and violent phrasal verb. It means to hurt someone physically by hitting or kicking them repeatedly. It's an assault.
Example 1. He got into a fight outside the bar, and they beat him up badly.
A terrible situation. Example 2. He was bullied as a child and was sometimes beaten up at school.
Now, there is a very important metaphorical usage, too, isn't there?
There is, and we use it all the time. Example 3. Don't beat yourself up over that small mistake. Everyone makes them.
So it means don't criticize yourself too harshly, to be too hard on yourself.
Exactly. The physical synonyms are assault, batter, attack, or thrash.
And the opposite, both physically and metaphorically.
To defend someone, to protect them, or in the metaphorical sense, to comfort or praise them.
Taking a breath.
Mm-hmm.
If you beat someone up and you get caught, you might end up here, behind bars.
This is a fixed phrase, an idiom. It uses metonymy. The bars of the cell represent the entire prison system. It simply means to be in jail.
Example 1. After a long trial, the criminal is finally behind bars where he belongs.
Example 2. He spent 10 years behind bars for the robbery.
And you can use it as a goal. Example 3. The main goal of the investigation is to put the entire gang behind bars.
Right. The semantic field is incarceration and justice. And the synonyms are very direct. Imprisoned, in jail, locked up.
And the opposite.
To be free, to be at liberty, or for a criminal who has escaped, to be on the loose.
Perfect. Pause there.
Okay.
Last one for section 3. This is a crucial distinction between two related ideas. Ran away from versus on the run.
Yes, this is a subtle but important difference. Ran away from is the specific act of escaping a place or a person. It's the verb, the action of leaving.
And on the run.
On the run is a status. It's a state of being. It means you are actively fleeing from authority as a fugitive. It's your lifestyle now.
Let's try to distinguish with examples. Example 1. The unhappy child ran away from home. That's the single act of leaving.
Right. Now contrast that with example 2. The thief has been on the run from the police for 3 weeks. That is his current status. He is constantly moving to avoid capture.
So ran away is the start, and on the run is the period that follows.
Often, yes. And we can use run away metaphorically, too. Example 3, you can't just run away from your responsibilities.
The word family here includes words like fugitive or escapee.
Mm-hmm. And for collocations, you are on the run for months or on the run from the law.
And the opposite. What do you do if you're on the run and you want to stop?
You hand yourself in, you surrender, or, for the metaphorical sense, you stay put and you face the situation.
Excellent. That closes the book on crime. Let's move to our final section, section 4. The theme is struggle, support, and survival.
These are very human phrases, very relatable to the working world and daily life.
Item 22. All hours.
This implies very late at night, very early in the morning, or just generally irregular, exhausting times. It suggests a lack of a normal schedule.
Example 1. He has been working all hours to finish the project before the deadline.
Example 2, a complaint about neighbors. The people next door play loud music at all hours. I can't get any sleep.
And it can also just mean 24/7. Example 3. The convenience store on the corner is open all hours.
Right. Synonyms could be late into the night, around the clock, or simply any time.
And the opposite.
Regular hours, office hours, or the classic 9 to 5.
Pause. When you work all hours but don't get paid enough, you might be earning next to nothing.
A very descriptive phrase. It means a very, very small amount. Almost zero. It's used to emphasize the insufficiency of something, usually money or value.
Example 1.
Yeah.
He bought that old car for next to nothing at an auction. It was a real steal.
Example 2, this time regarding appetite. She's been so worried she eats next to nothing.
And a third one about knowledge. He knows next to nothing about the topic, yet he keeps talking about it.
Right. Synonyms include the idiom peanuts, as in he gets paid peanuts, or just very little, hardly anything.
And the opposite of next to nothing.
A fortune, a lot, buckets of money, or an abundance of something.
Let's take a breath.
Okay.
Next up, be up to something.
This is all about activity. It usually implies something a bit suspicious or mischievous, but it can also be neutral. It's a phrase that invites curiosity.
The suspicious one first. Example 1. The kids are way too quiet in their room. I bet they're up to something.
Now the neutral one, example 2. What are you up to this weekend? It just means, what are your plans? Or what are you doing?
And the definitely negative version.
Example 3. Look at that guy lurking in the alley. He looks like he's up to no good.
The semantic field is activity and suspicion. And that collocation seems really important.
Up to no good is the most common one, for sure. Also, what have you been up to is a very common friendly greeting.
And the opposite.
Doing nothing or being idle.
Pause. This next one is about social friction. Give somebody a hard time.
This means to make things difficult for someone or to criticize and tease them. The meaning depends heavily on the tone of voice.
Let's do a negative one first. Example 1. The new boss is giving the employees a hard time about their long lunch breaks.
Now, an inanimate object can also give you a hard time. Example 2. My old car is giving me a hard time starting on these cold mornings.
And the playful version.
Example 3. Don't get upset. Your friends are just giving you a hard time because they like you. They're only joking.
Synonyms could be harass, pester, criticize, or in the friendly context, tease.
Yes. And the opposite is to make it easy for someone, to go easy on them, or another great idiom, to cut someone some slack.
Let's take a moment.
Sure.
If you are given a hard time, you might start to lag. You might get behind with something.
This describes delayed progress. Failing to do something as quickly as required. It's a very stressful feeling for most people.
Example 1, financially. He lost his job and quickly got behind on his rent payments.
Example 2, academically. I was sick for a week, so now I've got behind with my schoolwork.
And in a project management context, we cannot afford to get behind schedule on this construction project.
The synonyms are fall behind, lag, or be delayed.
And the prepositions are important here. You get behind with a task, or you get behind on payments.
That's the correct pattern, and the opposite is to get ahead, to keep up, or to be on track.
Pause. When you get behind, you might need a friend, someone to Jew. Stand by somebody.
A very noble phrase. It means to support or stay loyal to someone, especially when they are in a difficult situation.
Example 1. She stood by her husband throughout his long illness.
It can also mean sticking to a decision. Example 2. I know my choice was unpopular, but I stand by my decision.
And a classic example of loyalty. A good dog will always stand by its owner.
That's a lovely one. The semantic field is loyalty and support, and the synonyms are support, back, or stick with.
And the opposite is quite strong.
It is. The opposite is to abandon, betray, desert, or another good idiom, leave someone in the lurch.
Let's take a breath.
Okay.
Sometimes we need to give credit where it's due. Have somebody to thank for something.
This means to credit someone for a specific outcome. But you have to be very careful with this one. It is often used sarcastically to actually blame someone.
Let's look at the positive, genuine usage first. Example 1. I have my parents to thank for my education and my success in life.
Now for the sarcastic usage. Example 2. Well, the road is closed. We have the heavy rain to thank for this terrible traffic jam.
You're not actually thanking the rain.
No, you're blaming it. And for direct blame, example 3 said angrily, "You broke the vase. I have you to thank for this mess."
So the synonyms are things like owe it to or attribute to.
Correct. And the opposite. It's a bit tricky, maybe to blame no one or to say an outcome is unrelated to anyone's actions.
I see. Pause there. 2 more to go. This one is powerful. Make it.
A very powerful and versatile phrasal verb. It can mean to succeed, especially after a long struggle. It can mean to arrive on time, or it can mean to survive a dangerous situation.
Okay, example 1 for success. After years of playing in small clubs, the band finally made it big in America.
Now for arrival. Example 2. Hurry up and run, or we won't make it to the train on time.
And the most serious meaning? Survival. The doctors tried their absolute best, but unfortunately, the patient didn't make it.
A very sensitive and common euphemism. The synonyms follow those 3 meanings. Succeed, arrive, survive.
And the collocations.
Make it big, make it to the top. Or when you're canceling plans, you might say, "I'm sorry, I don't think I can make it tonight."
And the opposites are also linked to the meanings.
Exactly. To fail, to miss the bus, or to pass away.
Pause.
Okay.
And finally, item 30. Turn somebody down.
This is all about rejection. To refuse an offer, a request, or a person.
Example 1, a professional context. I had to turn down the job offer because the salary was too low.
Now, a social or romantic context. Example 2, he asked her on a date, but she politely turned him down.
And a financial one.
Example 3, we applied for a mortgage, but the bank turned down our loan application.
The semantic field is simply rejection. And the synonyms are reject, refuse, or decline.
Right. And the opposite.
To accept, to hire, to approve, or to agree to.
A very clear and useful one to end on.
And that is it. We have made it through all 30 items in Vocab Set 99.
We certainly have. And looking back, it's quite a journey we've been on. We've gone from crime scenes with caught red-handed and behind bars.
All the way to the daily struggles of earning next to nothing and getting behind on your bills.
It really highlights how diverse and rich the language of phrasal verbs is. But the big picture here, I think, is that fluency really does come from mastering these small building blocks.
It's the details. Knowing the difference between running away from a problem and being on the run from the law, or throwing up a building versus throwing up your dinner, that is what mastery looks like.
Absolutely. It's all about precision and context.
So here is our final challenge to you, the listener. Don't just let this information wash over you. Pick just one of these 30 items, anyone that stuck with you.
Just one.
And use it in a conversation today. Or write it down in an email. Actively use it. Make it yours.
That's the only way to make it stick. To move it from recognition to true ownership.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. We really hope this guide helps you feel a little more like an English master.
Until next time, keep learning.